Disclaimer: this video is rated
Peggy 18.
After the new COPPA rules dropped, anytime I cover something that I think could even be considered kid-friendly, I'm gonna have to put this here now. So this video is both untimely because this game is like 7 years old at this point, and because I initially wanted to do this video in last August, but I still didn't have any idea on how to really edit things and I was being lazy. But now finally the review is coming out, so let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about LEGO City Undercover. So spoilers for a 7-year-old game on the Wii U of all things. Technically the version I played came out 3 years ago, but so we don't really need to get into technicalities. First things first, the story. You play as Chase McCain, an ousted cop from the LEGO City Police Department who comes back to help fight against a crime wave that has taken
LEGO City.
Immediately following his return, he finds the man that he helped put away, Rex Fury, is seemingly responsible for the recent wave of crime that has shaken the city. Chase then meets the incompetent Robin to his Batman, Frank Honey, who is by far the funniest and brightest part of this game for me, as well as Ellie Phillips, who is like the Lucius Fox to your Batman. The warm welcome is then cut short by Chase's ex-girlfriend Natalia, who is now in witness protection because Chase mentioned her name during the first Rex Fury case. The police chief, Marion Dunby, is also not happy to see Chase come back, mainly because of his bumbling in the Rex Fury case, even though we later hear that Chase was a key part in arresting Fury. Then there's a few different introductory missions until there's a break in the case where Chase gets a lead that Rex might be at the Bluebell mine. Rex, however, gives Chase the fucking hands and gets away. While that was happening, Natalia's father is kidnapped. Because Chase lost the fight against Rex, he goes to a dojo to learn Kung Fu, even though the combat doesn't fucking change at all after this, so it's only for plot development. Once Chase gets out of training, he saves Frank from Chan Chuang's gang, and Chase is then sent undercover as a limo driver into Chan's gang, since only low-level thugs saw his face anyway. While working for the company, Chase ends up driving local millionaire Forrest Blackwell, who has the standard evil James Bond villain voice, but we're not supposed to know that yet. Chase then gets some clout with Vinnie Pappalardo, resident Italian stereotype, and ends up stealing a moon buggy for Chan. Then, because Natalia went to search for her father at Chan's hideout, she ends up being captured by Chan, but Chase saves her and she finally lets him try and help her in her search. Dunby then gets angry at Chase because when he saved Natalia, he causes Chan to go underground. Just in case you forgot that Dunby was a dick, he sends Chase, and Frank for some reason, to the Bluebell National Park to work with the sheriff there. This is just a padding area, nothing important even happens for like 30 minutes. Once Chase does get back on the case, he steals a robot T-Rex like that one Transformer for Vinnie from the LEGO City Museum. After another Natalia rescue mission, Chase tails Vinnie to his private buyer and finds out that it was Rex this whole time. Wow, who could have thought? After Rex stiffs Vinnie for the T-Rex, that's a crazy sentence to say, Vinnie tells Chase to go rob Forrest Blackwell's mansion. Once that's done, Chase returns to Vinnie's hideout to find that Rex's goons are running through the place and locked Vinnie in the freezer. Once everything's cooled off,
Boo! You stink!
Boo hoo hoo.
Chase takes the identity of the main Rex goon to find out what Rex's plan is. While undercover, Chase finds out that it was Rex who kidnapped Natalia's father, and that Forrest Blackwell is the main guy behind the crime wave. Once Chase saves Natalia's father, Forrest Blackwell does his villain speech, and Chase later finds out that because the city wouldn't let him build a shopping mall due to the environmental concerns, Blackwell wants revenge. So instead of just taking the hit and moving on with his millions of dollars, he spent millions more to convert his high-rise skyscraper into a rocket.
What?
That's going to destroy the city, and he's going to move to a colony on the moon.
What?
Chase then hitches a ride on a space shuttle to go to the moon, finally beats Rex, Blackwell gets smacked by a cow, Chase saves Natalia one more time, and they go on to start a new life together. Now, on to gameplay. Usually in this game you'll only be doing 3 things: platforming, driving, and fighting. There are some things like costume-specific tasks, but I see those as more like mini-games rather than full-on gameplay features. So the first main thing I want to talk about that I think is an interesting change from my perspective of other LEGO games is the combat system. It's literally just baby's first Arkham game. It's really not even that big of an issue. I mean, yeah, I would have rather there be at least a slight change after the dojo thing, but it's passable. Branching off of combat to the different abilities that you gain throughout the game, the Robber, Fireman, and others, are a pretty cool way of having multiple characters in one, where other LEGO games like Star Wars and Marvel usually only allow you to have 2 characters at a time. The abilities were cool, but after taking a break for the game from a bit, it can be a little difficult to get back into it. Something that I think was poorly implemented were the cars. At no point did I ever feel like the cars moved in a speed that felt good. Even with Nitro, which I didn't even realize was a thing until about halfway through the game, every vehicle feels slow, and vehicles that should be slow are even worse. Also with the speed issue, the cars and vehicles have a tendency to feel slippery while driving. I do like that this game stole the moving carjacking mechanic from Sleeping Dogs though, and I think all the other things that this game stole also work pretty well for the most part. The platforming in this game is pretty standard, nothing too interesting or stand out from other LEGO games. You run, you jump, you do things. There are also multiple different minigames that you can play. I honestly didn't play all of them, but most of them were the same. Just hit B when the marker moves, tap B repeatedly, yada yada, you know the games. They're little fun distractions that I'm sure I would have loved when I was younger, but I just see them as a waste of time now. Just like with every other LEGO game, this one is a collectathon. So there's studs, there's pieces of police badges, there's gold bricks. There's always something to do. Whether or not it's all worth it though is based on how much you really want to spend on a LEGO game. Moving on to the graphics / design aspect of the game, it's a LEGO game. If you've seen one, you've pretty much seen them all. From Star Wars to Marvel to Jurassic Park for some reason, they're classic LEGO game staples and they're all here. The missions are usually extremely linear, but do feel pretty varied in the locations at least. The thing that matters is the stud counter at the top. Getting a times anything multiplier is where the fun really starts, and that little sound is always the best. Going a little further with the individual levels, each level is adding a different layer to the gameplay. Sure, most of the additions are just adding extra QuickTime events, but each level's gimmick usually keeps me engaged, although some of them do tend to drag on a little bit too long. The additions of switching between costumes instead of different characters, even though it's technically the same, is cool, and I think that separates this game from other LEGO games. Here's some of my extra thoughts that I didn't really think fit into any other category. Like, how does this economy work? Since you get studs from just breaking shit in the world, inflation must be crazy. If I really played this how I've played other LEGO games, I'd be a trillionaire. Oh, just wait. I got way more stuff that I thought way too much about. Also, because changing appearances and building things are a huge part of the LEGO experience, I wonder if identity theft is a common crime. I mean, I know it's not happening all the time, but come on. A quick spin of the head and you're a different person. This is like Face Off, which honestly might have already been ripped off by this game. Keeping up with the film theme, this game loves movie references that the target audience of this game would not understand at all in either 2013 or 2017. They make references to Dirty Harry, which I had to look up to see was released in 1971, so nobody playing this game would even understand why a character asked another, "Do you feel lucky?" They also have a long Shawshank Redemption recreation that again means they made an extended reference from a movie from 1994. This shit is rated 10+, so the base level of 10-year-olds in 2013 were born in 2003 and had no business watching either of these movies. I mean, it's cool for people that love references, which includes me, but I think some of these are so heavy-handed and sometimes out of place that it can just be distracting. Something that's also distracting from a stylistic point of view, this game loves slow motion. Anytime anything that can even be construed as possibly cinematic, you bet you're gonna see some slow motion with it. Out of all the cinematic styles, they chose Zack Snyder's. I mean, just look at this. The game's difficulty is also strange. On one hand, this game is definitely a baby game. It will hold your hand through every aspect of the game, but other times the game just drops you in a place and you gotta figure it out yourself. It was a shock sometimes since I assumed that some of the puzzles were too easy and I thought I was just missing something. Maybe I'm just too dumb even for baby games, who knows? Speaking of idiots, Frank Honey is the most bumbling and inept character that I've ever seen in gaming, and I love him for it. Sure, he shouldn't be on the police force, and he most likely got in because his parents are rich and own a huge hotel in the city, and they most likely use that money to influence the police department, and that influence might not just stop at Frank. It could go all the way to the top. What if they pay off cops that come snooping around the hotel? What if they paid to blackmail Dunby or even the mayor? What if they had a hand in the crime wave and put Frank in the department to try and stop their progress? Wait, what if Frank isn't actually stupid? What if he's been biding his time? Watching, waiting, learning. What if he wanted to get Rex and Blackwell out of Lego City so his parents become the dominant elite and their sphere of influence extends even further? Who's gonna stop this? Chase is gone. We had Frank under our noses. He led us through our adventure. It was him. He planned it. He was always there. He used us
for land development.
Finally, something that I think this game does really well is that it captures a really interesting and vibrant city. The city feels like a mix between San Francisco and Chicago, so I'm biased, sue me, with a sprinkling of other little locales like the farms and other aspects. For some reason, I felt like this open world really felt lived in and always had something going on. Even with games like GTA 5, the game feels like it's on a track and you are just a disconnected piece of the whole. I think it's really weird personally that I feel this way, since I know I've played more GTA and I love those worlds, but my time with baby's first GTA did really feel pretty fun. Now, let me wrap everything up. I really did enjoy my time playing the game, but the combat is super repetitive and the driving feels like driving through honey.
Chase?
No, you stay away. I did feel kind of burned out multiple times throughout playing just because the speed of the game drags, especially when you've been playing for a while though. I definitely recommend this game if you want an easy gaming experience. And always remember that if you ever get stuck, if you smash everything in the area, you'll find the answer pretty quickly. So what other game should I play? What's your favorite LEGO game? Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.